Hi, I'm Will from Link, and in this video I'll be taking you through the individual performance report in Link Reporting. Let's take a look together. This is the individual performance report. Now this report is designed to really focus on an individual within the practice. So by default the report runs for last month and compares to the 11 previous periods. So we're going to get 12 periods showing in this report. But as you update the quick selects, you'll see the defaults change. So if we go last quarter, it's going to default to 3 periods, but we do have the ability to update that as well. So for this report, let's run it year to date. And that's going to give us it knows to give us the 7 previous periods because that's how far through the year we are. And let's choose Ricky Robinson for this report and then hit run. So this is Ricky Robinson's year-to-date performance. Let's run through some of these values here. So we've got the billable amount of time that Ricky has done in each month with the total on the far right-hand side, the non-billable time, and that gives us the total time. So we add the billable and the non-billable together, we get our total time. And then we have our leave. Now leave is broken out so we don't affect our productivity calculations. So our productivity is our billable time divided by the total time worked. And then the billable amount is the billable value of work that's done. And that's essentially just the billable rate multiplied by the billable time that has been done. We then have a breakdown of our write-ups and our write-offs, giving us our net write-ups. Now a negative value in the net write-ups represents a write-off. We also have our write-up percentage and then our revenue. Now our revenue is calculated by taking the billable amount of work done in the period and adjusting by those net write-ups. Then we calculate our average hourly rate. Now average hourly rate is calculated by taking our revenue and then dividing it by the total time worked. And you can see here, Ricky this financial year is tracking to $141.95 as an average hourly rate. Now, if we want to investigate any of these values, we can click on them, and this is really helpful for understanding why these write-offs are occurring. So let's click into this value here, 2,719.02 is the write-off. That's going to drill us into a breakdown of the timesheets grouped by job, and we can start assessing the write-offs here by scrolling through this list, all the way down to see that total there, 2,719.02. So any value in this report can be investigated by clicking into it. And it's a great idea to do this to really understand how these values are made up rather than taking them at face value here. Now there are metrics in this report that currently aren't showing, and we can include these by going show more, add and remove fields, and then checking them on here. So cost, profit, and ROI. Now when you start using Link Reporting, you'll see that your cost will always be at 0, and that's because costs are set up within Link Reporting, which you can update by going to settings and then down to base rates, and you can enter your base rates per team member per month. So once you have your cost amounts in there, we can calculate your profit and also your ROI. Now these individual reports are fantastic to be sharing with our team members, and we can do that by exporting them, but even better is we can schedule them. We do that by going schedule, giving the report a name, entering the email address of the individual and potentially the manager as well. Selecting a start date for the report. You want to be choosing a future date, and it's a good idea to send these out early each month, let's say the 5th. Select the frequency and then the report format being a PDF, and then hit save. So we can now expect this report to be sent the 5th of each month. Another great way to use this report is to run it on a weekly basis. So if we choose last week, we may want to update these periods to, let's say, the last 3 periods, and then hit run. You'll notice that we no longer have any values around write-offs and ROIs and average charge rates. And the reason for that is we cannot accurately calculate that on a weekly basis. So this report is very much looking at the productivity. So if we do have KPIs around productivity, this is a report you want to be sending on a weekly basis, so our team members can see how they're tracking against their KPIs. And on a monthly basis, we may want to send that year-to-date or that 12-month rolling report. And this way we're engaging our team with the KPIs we set with them, and they can see how they're tracking. Now, of course, when you schedule these reports, it's very important to consider what fields you're sending. You may not want to disclose profit and ROI in these values with your team members, as that is quite sensitive information. So really do consider what fields you want to be sending on that report, as the fields do determine what is sent in the reports. So do make sure you utilize the individual performance report. It's a great way to keep the team all on the same page and understand their KPIs, because it's nice to turn up to work and know where the goalposts are, rather than showing up each day not quite understanding what's expected of you. So this is one of the most powerful reports to drive performance and also engage your team members in the work they do. So I hope that answers all of your questions. Now, if there's anything further you would like help with, in the menu hit help and then chat with support to speak to someone from our support team.